Okay, we're back here on the Fox. It is 6:49, and it's the Rick Lewis Show. And joining us here from the UC Health Training Center is Denver Broncos head coach Vance Joseph. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you, Vance.
While you were walking up, Dave and I were admiring your rock-hard athletic physique. You're wearing shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
You look great, man. You just got back
had
from
a big
the gym.
workout this morning.
Yeah. No,
it happens. It happens every morning.
You look strong.
Well,
you're looking pretty good.
Look strong and feel strong. That's a little different.
So NFL head coaches, are you one of these? I mean, you see various guys get up at various times.
Right.
They get to the facility at different times. When the season starts, what time do you walk in here every day?
Probably about 5:45.
5:45.
Absolutely. Time's your enemy. You got to conquer time. So, it's a pile every day. So when I come in, it's a big pile. I leave, it's a big pile.
What's the first thing
you have
do?
to leave, and go home and get some sleep and come back.
First thing you do when
First
you
thing
walk
I
in.
do in the morning is I meet with Greek and those guys,
About yesterday?
about the health of our football team.
Okay.
And that's always important, especially game week, as you're game planning, you want to know who's available for you. So that's critical to our success, those guys in that training room.
Speaking of health, a couple of guys injured yesterday. Can you give us an update on Garrett Bowles and Brandon Marshall?
Yeah. Garrett Bowles is okay. He took a little shot in inside run period, but he's fine. He was back at the walkthrough in the afternoon. Brandon Marshall had a slight wrist injury, but he's back also. So we're all good there. We got Tremaine Brock, who's got a hamstring. He's probably going to be down for a week. So that was the major injury from yesterday. But we're pretty healthy so far. I mean,
How about Harmon?
It's been a good deal. Harmon's fine. That was more precaution. He's got a little knee he's had in the past, so just being smart with him so he can make it through the full grind here. But nothing serious there at all.
So we were talking to Case just moments ago and talking about the first day of pads. I remember back as a player, even though training camp's a grind, there's something about the first day of pads.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of an added excitement to it, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, it's football. Football's played in pads, and some guys change, when the pads go on. So it's fun to see the guys who don't change. But it was spirited yesterday. Speaking of the quarterback, I mean, that guy completes the ball. I mean, the ball didn't touch the ground yesterday, and that's a good sign for us.
Coach, this is the start of your second year. How does it feel to you?
Mm-hmm.
You got a year under your belt,
Right.
a year's worth of experience. I would imagine you feel quite a bit more comfortable.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a different job, and it's no playbook for it. So your second year, you obviously feel more comfortable with every aspect of the job. So I'm having fun with it, though. It's a younger team. It's a focused team, and they're hungry. So that makes your job easy. When everyone shows up every day and they're ready to work. So my job becomes easy.
We've heard players publicly say that, and they haven't been real specific about it, but that this offseason, the OTAs have felt different to them. I mean,
Right.
have you gone in with the intention of making this year seem different, feel different, and ultimately be different to them?
Absolutely. After being 5-11, we better make it feel different. So the point was to just create a new culture of accountability. The best football teams win. So we have to make sure that we're a good football team, and that takes guys being selfless and taking on roles they don't want and working every day. We can't have guys who don't want to be a part of a team. We want a team culture.
So with that in mind, 3-4 days into camp here, what have you changed here compared to last year's training camp?
Well, I think the message, is a lot different, and teams do change, every year. Our team's younger, between the draft and free agency, we have a younger team, and younger means more compliant in this league, and when they're more compliant, they follow, and everyone's focused, even our veteran players, they're different. Last year stung us, especially the guys who've been here and have won a lot of football games. Last year it was hard, so if that didn't motivate you, something's wrong with you. So we are all motivated, and kind of embarrassed.
Final thought for me, you mentioned the team is younger. I think one of the areas that may help you, and certainly you hope it helps you, is in special teams.
Absolutely. Our running backs room, I mean, it's obviously 5 young guys, and they're all qualified, but it helps your own teams, guys who can cover, all 4 phases. tight end, it's a young room. We have guys with speed, guys with length, so that helps you on teams. And that area last year cost us games. So that should be an area of strength for us this year because we got younger. Sometimes, we think experience is the key, but being qualified is the key. We have good young players that we feel good about. They're hungry, they're smart, they're open-minded, so that makes it exciting.
Speaking of young players, the draft this year on paper has a lot of people really excited. Excuse me. Can you tell our listeners, maybe point out a couple of those players that have looked good so far?
Well, so far so good with those guys. Obviously, the first guy, Chubb, he is what we thought he was going to be, from a football perspective, but he is also smart and a hard worker. He's very, very coachable. Cortland Sutton, the receiver, 14. You watch the guy practice. He's a big freak. He should have been a first-round pick, but we got him in a second, so that value is unbelievable.
Why would he not have been a first-round guy?
I think the draft's that way. It goes in cycles. Receivers 4 years ago were, they were sought after. Halfbacks wasn't. Now they're, being sought after. But he's obviously a first-round talent, so he's been impressive. The third-round corner from BC has been impressive also. A long guy that makes plays, and he can really run and get back into plays. So it's a good class, And also, adding Jake Butt from last year, who didn't play as a rookie last year, but he's kind of a rookie this year. He looks great out there. So it's a class that's going to help us. We've got probably 7 or 8 guys who can really help us out of this class. That's good.
Yes, Coach, thanks for
good.
stopping by. Excited to get things going here this year, and that Stairmaster's really working for you. Keep
thank
doing
you.
that. Yeah,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.
Looking good.
Thank you, bud.
Thanks for coming by, Coach.
Good to see you
Coach
guys.
Vance Joseph,
All right.
Rick Lewis Show, 103.5 The Fox.